Sagittarius, welcome to your weekly reading for September the 12th to the 18th. Let's get started and see what messages we have for Sagittarius for the week ahead. Keeping in mind these are general readings and may not resonate for everyone. So take the messages that do and check out your other placements because you may have messages in those readings as well. All right, let's get started for Sagittarius. What is the energy around Sagittarius this week ahead? Oh, there's the Soulmates card in reverse. So someone has a sacred task to deliver you to a certain experience. Oh, wow, that's the only card coming out for you. And look at the bottom of the deck is time to go. So there is something cooking for you this week, Sagittarius. You've got to go. It's time to move from something. You might have to physically move, or it might just be moving sort of away from it focus-wise, but it's almost like there is a task here that you have a soulmate contract with someone who is trying to sort of bring you to an experience to reflect back something at you. And so it's very interesting. Whenever that soulmate card comes out in reverse, I think it's going to be such a fascinating reading because it's like something is going to bring you to your knees. This is sort of a very powerful gift that someone is bringing into your life. And I call it a sacred task because it's really designed to help you learn something about yourself through this experience. And seeing the time to go card with it on the bottom of the deck, that really is interesting because that can really signify endings. Something has been completed and it's over and it's time to sort of walk away from something because there is nothing left to learn from this. So isn't that an interesting combination that there's something in your life that you might be hanging on to and it's actually time to walk away from it because this has gotten you as far as it's going to, whatever it was in this relationship. I always think of this Arabic expression that we use where we say, what's written has been completed. And so that's sort of what this is making me feel for you, Sagittarius, is that what was written between you and this other person has completed. You finished the contract. You fulfilled the contract with each other. It's finished. So you might be experiencing some endings this week. And I'm wondering, are you accepting that? Are you sort of trying to hang on to it? Are you ready to disengage? This is something that may have made you very uncomfortable at some point, but it's almost like it's over now. It's finished. The contract is done. Whatever you and this individual or you and this experience sort of had made a pact to understand deeper in this lifetime, you did it. And now it's time to sort of release it, and to release it with gratitude and love, not with resentment and sort of this maybe like a feeling of like, no, I don't want to let it go, resistance. Let's see what the tarot cards are going to say. Wow, the Page of Cups flipped over so quickly. Let's get your whole row out here so I can have a look at them. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like there's the Hangman in reverse. So you might resist it and you might think, no, I don't trust that this is finished. I'm going to charge ahead. Oh yeah, look at all of these cards. Very interesting with the Knight of Wands on the bottom of the deck. Okay, so what this is telling me, Sagittarius, is that you have made it to the end of a cycle, okay? And you might be missing the signs of that. And you might be sort of feeling a lot of emotions coming to the surface with this Page of Cups. And it could be blocking you from understanding that whatever had to happen has happened. Whatever this contract was about with this soulmate has been fulfilled. The task has been completed. The journey has come to a close. And I feel like seeing the major arcana that's here, you got the Hangman in reverse, the Emperor in reverse, the Sun in reverse. So you're feeling very pessimistic about this. You don't trust that how can it be over? And it's almost like you're resisting the closure of this. You don't want this to be finished yet, Sagittarius. There's a part of you that wants more out of this than you've gotten so far. And perhaps to you this feels like it's just the beginning, but actually this is something that has completed itself. You might need to have you're sort of being guided here to be less assertive, less of a leader here. You might need to fall back. This feels like something you can't control. When I see the Emperor and the King of Rods in reverse, it's almost like, stop trying to control this process because it's outside of your control. This was a contract and it's done. And sometimes when stuff like this happens, we rail against it and we can't accept it, and we want we want to keep going. We want to be in control of it. We want to be in charge of how this goes. But seeing these cards, that makes me feel like that's not it. You could be hanging on to something that's no longer meant for you when we see the Hanged Man in reverse here. And it could be that you're a little stubborn right now, Sag. You don't want to let go of this. There's a part of you that's like, I refuse to accept that this is as far as I can go with this situation. And it's a big no for you. You're thinking, nope, I got to keep going. And I wonder what will happen if you keep going. Like if a situation has been written and it has the end written after a certain chunk, and you want it to keep going, well, the story's finished. So it's very interesting. Let's clarify some of these cards. Perhaps we'll find out what will be the outcome if you sort of keep pushing past a certain point. I mean, you're really being guided to trust this and to be patient with yourself, that sometimes we don't have control over certain things. And if something has come to an end, that may be as far as it could go, Page of Cups in reverse. Yeah, Two of Swords. So it's really creating a situation for you where you feel like you have to do something. But look, you got the Ten of Swords here. This situation has come to an end. This story is over. And I feel like you only have, I see the Two of Swords, I'm looking right at it, but it makes me feel like you actually only have one choice ahead of you, which is to get up and to move forward, because this story has finished, and it finished on a note that may have not been what you thought would be the ideal ending to this story. You got 10 swords here. And so that's a pretty big ending, and it's an ending that got you almost by surprise. Like, I think you thought this story was going to keep going. And it's, I hate to be the bearer of a surprising news, but this outcome seems pretty clear to me, that, you might be hanging on to something that's no longer for you, Sag. Let's see here. Emperor in reverse, King of Swords. So you're trying to find a way to be strategic. You're analyzing the situation and trying to find a way to continue this story, to keep it going. And I feel like you're using all of your mental resources right now to strategize, to analyze, and to find a way to arrange things so that you still have a hold on this, even though this is all sitting in your mind right now. You know what I mean? Like, and there's the Hanged Man again, coming to rest on the Sun, telling you to trust this. Telling you to trust that you don't have to feel pessimistic because this is over. This could be leading to a new beginning for you elsewhere. So trust it. Trust the divine timing here, that it's time to go. Don't sit around and wait. It's time to go. It's time to go. This experience has brought you to your knees. Literally. That is what this soulmates in reverse is that there was a sacred contract, a sacred task that has brought you to your knees, and it's now over. and it's time for you to move past it. And I feel like you're still strategizing, oh, how can I do this? What can I do next? This is over. This is over. Let's look at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, look, Death card. Transformation. It's time for you to transform past whatever this is. It was trying to teach you something, and maybe you had other sort of, you had a different outcome in mind. You know, you had a different outcome in mind, but the outcome is clear. This situation can't transform past here. Sagittarius, you know, this is a very clear reading, and it really makes me feel like right now you need to focus on what you're going to do next. You know what I mean? Like, you're at a stalemate here. You're at a stalemate. This situation can't move past here. So it's a difficult moment. It's a difficult moment, but your best bet is to find something to focus on that's not this. You know, and seeing the King of Wands in reverse, that tells me that you're far too focused on this right now. And it's almost creating a stubborn energy that says, I don't believe this is over yet. I will find a way to continue on this path. And seeing the Hanged Man coming out to clarify says, you know, don't feel like this is the only path. And just because it's time to move off this path, that's it. Because it's landing on the Sun in reverse. So that means you've become kind of pessimistic about what your options will be after this. Like, if you do let this go, it's almost like you've decided that there's nothing left for you to pursue here. When really, that could just be sort of the angst that you're feeling, because you're kind of between a rock and a hard place. Like, you can't move backwards from here. You can't go back to this. This is done. And sometimes that can be a sweet relief. But I feel for right now, for you, this feels like, no, this can't be over yet. There could be something beautiful waiting around the corner for you. This situation has gone as far as it can. I'm going to leave it at that, Sagittarius. Thank you so much for joining me for this reading. I really do hope it's been helpful. And I'm sending you so much love and light. You take care. I look forward to reading for you again soon. Take care, my friends.